All right, what is going on, Dolphins? It is your boy Dillon, and I am here to do my post-game analysis video for you for the New Orleans Saints versus Miami Dolphins. It was up in the Superdome in New Orleans, so let's go ahead and just jump right into it. By the way, before I do though, actually, and I'll put the link in the description box, but I did have like a post-game collab video with the homie Hoodie Juby, so I will put the link in the description box, so make sure you go check that out as well and show him some love. With that, let's jump into it. So the Dolphins, obviously, they won the game. They are now 8-7. Saints dropped to 7-8. We won 20-3. And, real quick, I want to start off by saying that, as you guys already know, I don't think this game was fair by any stretch of the imagination. The Saints defense played admirably, and they kept them in it for a good portion of the game, particularly in the first half. But as expected, with all of the players that they were missing, they did open up a bit in the second half, which allowed us to get up to the 20 points that we got. And also, their offense just didn't stand a chance just from jump, man. I mean, and obviously that's why we completely feasted on them. So, it is what it is. Obviously, nothing we can do about it. But, from my perspective, it's the one game on the season at this point that, it's, and particularly throughout this win streak, this 7-game win streak, that I'm not really excited about. The win the win is lessened for me because I feel for Saints fans and the Saints organization and stuff like that. So, and I wouldn't want that to be us or anybody, any team. So, I'm an empathetic person. I think about others. I put my feet into their shoes, and I don't, waver on my principles. And I'm not one of those kinds of people that has to just win at all costs. No, there are lines that I draw in the sand and I don't cross them. So anyway, with that said, let's move on. We did beat them in total yards, 259 to their 228. We beat them in passing, our 173 to their 126. We beat them in they beat us in rushing, their 102 to our 86. What was I going to say? Oh, the offense, obviously, overall, too, didn't play, as well as we would like. And certainly the last 2 games of the season, they will have to play better if they're going to want to win these last 2 games. We beat them in yards per play, 4.4 to their 4.2. We obviously won the turnover battle because they lost 2 fumbles and threw an interception. Actually, hold on, though. We did throw an interception. Sorry, I needed to change that because obviously Tua threw his interception. Anyway, one thing that was pretty impressive, though, you gotta say, is we held them to 0% on third downs. We were only 33%, which isn't really fantastic, but, at least it's better than them, right? And time of possession, we had it for 33-56. I mean, obviously, we controlled this game for the vast majority of it. And if our offensive line didn't suck so bad, and if we had more reliable wide receivers and a better run game, we actually should have, and even under the circumstances, there's reason to believe that we should have just, we should have been able to score over 30 points on them because they were just so depleted and decimated. And then they had it for 26-04, and each team had 7 penalties. Tua, and real quick, just for a quick overview of his performance, yeah, I think that, giving him a C grade is probably accurate. He had some ups, some downs, and, he did the best that he could under the situation and in the circumstance. And obviously, he was still 73.1% completion percentage, 19 of 26, 198 yards, 1 touchdown, the 1 interception, and a 91.5 passer rating. And poor Ian Book, he was just thrown to the wolves in this one because of the circumstance, and he was 12 of 20, 60%, 135, no touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and a 40.6 passer rating. And of course, he also got sacked 8 times. So not a good day for him. I feel for the kid, not where I would want to be. It's a super shitty thing to have to go into for your first start, and I feel for him. So where, I know most Dolphins fans are like, fuck him, who cares? Well, I do, because I'm a decent human being. So anyway, but the funny thing though is those people that say that, I guarantee you would be the first people to be bitching and moaning and complaining about it if they were in that situation. So anyway, at least a lot of those people would be. Duke Johnson led the way for us, 13 rushes, 39 yards and a 3 average. Phillip Lindsay, 13 for 36 and a 2.8. Myles Gaskin, 3 for 10 and a 3.3. Kamara led the way for them, 13 for 52 and a 4 average. Mark Ingram, 4 for 17 and a 4.3. Jalen Waddle was 10 of 12 for 92 and a touchdown. Obviously, Jalen Waddle, another positive though for Jalen Waddle. He tied Jerry Rice for 10 receptions, most receptions by a rookie on a Monday Night Football game at 10. And he also did move into second place on the all-time list for rookie receptions, and I think it's only 5 more that he needs to beat Anquan Boldin. So I think he should pretty easily be able to beat that record. And obviously he's already beaten the Miami Dolphins record and continues to set it. So good for him. Obviously love to see him. And again, even though I would have prioritized that draft differently, and even though I still fucking, evaluate the rest of the draft, not just the first 3 picks, and I still fully evaluate the other drafts, I like Jalen Waddle. But it's also true that he did cost 2 firsts. So, all of that is context, and I leave none of it out. Matt Collins was 1 of 2 for 40. Durham Smythe 3 of 3 for 31. Mike Gesicki 3 of 4 for 22. So you can acknowledge the fact that he cost 2 first-round picks and probably shouldn't have been the pick because they had higher priorities. But you can also say that he's a phenomenal player. He's going to be wonderful in this league. He's doing fantastic things under the circumstances, which are terrible around him. And he's flourishing. Anyway, so let's see, where was I? I think I finished us. Little Jordan Humphrey led the way for them, 3 of 5 for 70. Marquez Callaway, 4 of 5 for 46. Defensively, Jerome Baker was 5 solo tackles, 1 assisted, 1.5 sacks, 2 tackles for loss. Javon Holland, 4 solo, 1 assisted with a half sack. Landon Roberts, 3 solo, 4 assisted. Zach Sealer, 3 solo, 3 assisted, 1 sack, 1 tackle for loss. Emmanuel Ogbah, 3 solo, 2 assisted, 2 sacks, 1 tackle for loss. Xavier Howard, 3 solo, 2 assisted, 1 sack, which actually kind of surprised me because, they don't usually use Xavier Howard in a way that would allow him to get sacks. My guess is he probably was just chasing down Ian Book and was the one credited for it. Brandon Jones, 2 of 4, but good on him, man. Add the sack to the resume, baby. Brandon Jones, 2 solo, 4 assisted, 1 sack, 1 tackle for loss. The interception for 8 yards and a pass defensed. The Ginks, Andrew Van Ginkel, 2 solo tackles, 1 tackle for loss, and 2 passes defensed. Nick Needham, 2 solo tackles, 1 interception, 28 yards, and the touchdown. Obviously, it was the pick 6 and a pass defensed. Christian Wilkins, 1 solo, 7 assisted, a half sack. And then Raekwon Davis, 3 solo with a half sack. In total, we had 29 solo tackles, 28 with assisted with 8 sacks, 6 tackles for loss, 2 interceptions for 36 yards, the 1 touchdown and 4 passes defensed. On their side of the ball, Pete Werner led the way, 7 solo, 3 assisted tackles. Zach Bond, 6 solo, 1 assisted. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, 5 solo, 2 assisted, and a tackle for loss. Cameron Jordan, 4 solo, 2 assisted, 2 sacks, and a tackle for loss. PJ Williams, 3 solo with a tackle for loss, TFL. Marcus Davenport, 2 solo, 3 assisted, 1 sack, 1 forced fumble. Braxton Hoyt, 2 solo, 2 assisted with a TFL. Marshawn Lattimore, 2 solo, 1 assisted with an interception and a pass defense. Bradley Roby with a 1 solo tackle and a pass defense. In total, they had 39 solo, 27 assisted, 3 sacks, 4 tackles for loss, 1 forced fumble, 1 interception, and 2 passes defensed. In the kicking game, Jason Sanders again missed one of his field goals. He was 2 of 3, a long of 48, 2 of 2 in his extra points. Brett Maher was 1 for 1 on his field goal attempts, a long of 38. It was obviously the only one. They only scored 3 points. Michael Pilardi in the punting game had 6 punts. For obviously you don't want him to be punting that much, but he performed pretty well when doing it though. He had 6 punts for 42.5 average, 3 inside the 20, so half of them inside the 20 with a long of 47. Blake Gillikin, 7 punts, 45.1 average, 2 inside the 20, a long of 54. Kickoff returns, Tommy Lee Lewis had 1 for 23. Ty Montgomery had 1 for 26. Punt returns, Tommy Lee Lewis had 2 for a negative half yard average, a long of 0. Javon Holland had 1 for 10 yards. Esip Winston had 3 for 9, a long of 17. All right, now let's get into the Dolphins league standings. There actually isn't. Now, again, this was a good defense. And again, these last, even though they did miss some key pieces, they did play admirably for most of the game. And so, as you can see, most of the Dolphins offensive league standings kind of dropped a little bit or stayed the same, with the exception of a little bit here. There's a little green there. But for the most part, we did drop a little bit or stay the same. And we do play tough defenses the next 2 weeks. We have 4,665 total yards. That dropped us from 23 to 24th. And, you know, that is where we are in total yards. We did drop a little bit in the per game average from 314.7 to 311. We remain 16th in the league in passing with 3,622. And we do drop a little bit in the per game average, 244.6 to 241.5. When it comes to rushing, we drop from 28th back down to 30th with 1,299 on the season, and we remain at 86.6 yards per game. No change there, but we did drop down to 30th, like I said. Points, we go from 22nd up to 21st, or 20th after ties, with 305 on the season. Down slightly, the tiniest bit, most marginal amount of decrease, 20.4 to 20.3. Third downs, we did drop a little bit there from 41.9 to 41.3, and that drops us from 11th to 12th. And then when it comes to defensive league standings, now obviously you see it's mostly green here, and obviously over the 7-game win streak, I just did a video, a video right before this one, the Dolphins 2021 season in context. So you really should take a look at that video, because I have some thoughts on that. But, you know, over the course of this 7-game win streak, the Dolphins defense has been elite. They do drop, which obviously is good, in their yards per game average from 349.1 to 336.7. That's good for a bump up from 18th to 15th. We go from 26th up to 22nd in passing yards, with a drop from 266.8 per game down to 258. When it comes to rushing, we had a marginal decrease from 103.7 to 102.3, but we do remain at 7th, although obviously 7th overall in the league. Pretty good place to be. When it comes to points, we dropped from 22.3 per game to 21. That's a jump from 17th up to 10th, or 7th after ties. We do drop one spot from 9th down to 10th, or 8th after ties and takeaways, even though we did get 2 in this game, 21 up to 23. We did, and both of them were interceptions, right? So 11 up to 13. That's good for 17th up to 14th, or 9th after ties. We remain at 6th in the league, or 5th after ties, with 10 fumbles. When we jump from 9th all the way up to 1st in sacks, because obviously we got 8 in this past game against Ian Book and the terrible Saints offense that was put on the field. We moved from 37 to 45 on the season, 9th up to 1st. We do remain in 1st in passes defensed with 79 up to 83. And then we take a pretty big jump, even though it's a pretty marginal decrease, from 42.8% to 40.3% in third down percentage. We do have a massive jump going from 25th up to 18th. So like to see that. And then getting to the rest of this, did we win? Yes. Quick drive-by-drive breakdown. Dolphins start with the ball. We punt after 6 plays. Then we get the Saints pick 6. That it ends up in 7-0, results in 7-0. Saints then go 3 and out. Dolphins field goal after 12 plays, 10-0. Saints go 3 and out. Dolphins punt after 5 plays. Saints punt after 4. Dolphins go 3 and out. Saints get their field goal, their only field goal, 10-3. Dolphins then miss one of their own to end the first half. Saints receive the ball to start the second. They go 3 and out. Dolphins interception. Saints punt after 5. Dolphins touchdown after 9, 17-3. Saints then punt. Dolphins go 3 and out. Saints turnover on downs. Move into the fourth quarter. Dolphins then get a field goal, 20-3. That's the ending score as we know. Saints then punt. Dolphins punt. Saints interception. Dolphins go 3 and out. Saints end the game. And that is a wrap, and that is how you have it. So Yeah, anyway, with that being said, obviously now, we are moving on. We are 8-7. We are in the thick of things. I'll do the playoff video tomorrow. And we will actually start to, now that we're at the point of the season where it's a guarantee that we make it in at 10-7, it's like 99%. I'm going to start looking at now some of the scenarios. Possibly we'll switch things up a little bit and see if there's any way that we can make it in at 9-8. So I'll be doing that tomorrow, but we are in the thick of things. Look, let's enjoy the 7-game win streak, but let's also keep it into context and have a full evaluation of how each game resulted the way it did, how this win streak has resulted in the way it did, and let's also not forget about the first 8 games when we do our full season evaluation and stuff like that. So anyway, with that, before I get out of here, make sure you check out the Rave On Sports App, the new fan-driven sports app for all your sports, whether it be basketball, baseball, football, college, whatever you like, they got it. And they're looking to enhance your game day experience with live play-by-play coverage, live chats with other fans with content creators like myself, as well as giving you an arena to dispute all of the terrible officiating that is now plagued the NFL for years and probably will for years to come. So look for the links to that in the description box. And with that, I am out of here. I hope you guys appreciate my perspective. If you do, make sure you hit the subscribe button, make sure you hit the like button, make sure you hit the bell if you want to get the alerts. Share my channel and videos with your friends and family. Leave your questions, comments, and concerns down in the comments section. And of course, as always, follow me on Twitter at DillonTartaro, as well as on Instagram at Dolphins_with_Dillon. And with that, I am out. I'll see y'all soon. Fins up.